So, who's joining me for News Review this morning? Dr. Ikuya Mwako. She is a member of the NPP Communications Directorate. And we have Remy Edmondson. He's National Secretary of the PPP. Later on, we have a third guest joining us, and I will introduce him when he does. Ladies and gentlemen, in red, good morning and welcome to the AM show.
Good morning.
So, what happened today, though?
It was purely coincidence.
Coincidence? I thought telepathy, but coincidence
great minds as well. I think so.
Right. I've been away for a while. It's good to see you again. But I mean, what's on your mind? For me, it's reading this article this morning about how the world fertility rate is declining. It's interesting. Let me just give you that, and then I'll come to you for your... The story is on myjoyonline.com, actually. And it said UNFPA surveyed 14,000 people in 14 countries about their fertility intentions. And it turns out that the world has begun an unprecedented decline in fertility rates. So I don't know who is in that category, but take notice of this. Ladies and gentlemen, your thoughts this morning. I want to start with the lady, obviously.
So, I don't, if I got you right, it's fertility intention. That means the intention to reproduce, essentially. That's what the research was about. It's understandable. It looks like as the world is moving forward and developing, people are moving towards the idea of having less children. I think the economics of it plays a big role. Like, cost of living is high. Now, if you raise kids, the cost of raising kids is also high. Imagine living in Accra, wanting to send your kids to a certain school. So now you plan your reproductive health around your budget. So I think that makes sense with regards to the results of that research.
Thank you. Is there anything else you came with? I mean, I didn't mean to distract you with this.
That's fine. My dress is related to one of the topics I'm sure will come up.
All right. Remy, what about you? Yeah.
Yes, I'll share with my sister's take. I mean, times have changed. Back in the day when people had to have more children, maybe to help on the farm and others, those are long gone. And now people this is ties in with marriage. Less and less people are even not interested in getting married at all.
Yeah.
Those if at all, they will say, okay, I probably want to have a child and just take care of the child myself. So it's more of a social issue. It's quite an interesting research to look at, because whatever it is, I mean, it's procreation that keeps humanity alive. So you have a decision where it's quite serious in the West. Yes, many of them are just not interested, and they're quite worried. And that's what leads to an influx of they also are opening their arms to have lots of migrants coming there to do certain work, because they have such a high population that is aged. And it's going to have that consequence for humanity going forward. So,
well, thank you.
But for my
1
minute take, I want to use that to address the issue of this man who got jailed for 20 plus years with Atai and was recently freed, because it turns out the circumstances under which he was jailed was quite wrong. And he's not the only one. Over the years, we've heard of a lot of such situations. And I've been asking myself, what's going to happen to him? What remedy? Today, I read a piece of he appealing for help to restart his shop. And asking, does the state have any compensation mechanism for such a person? And then what happens to the police personnel who obviously did a very shoddy job in prosecuting him, an innocent person? For all these people, I think there was this justice program some time back that was instituted to help such people who were justly tried. And I don't know what's happening with that, but if it's ended, I think I'll urge the Attorney General and the Justice Ministry to take up this issue again and make sure that all those incarcerated people who are really not supposed to be there are really free. And then also for our security services, especially for the police, need better training to be able to execute, I mean, their mandate in doing their investigation properly. Yeah. And then reduce the incident of sending innocent people to jail like this man.
Thank you, Remy. I mean, in addition to that, we should have some sort of program to reintegrate these people when they come back from prison. That's otherwise, they just there's a word for it. It's gives me right now. Yes, recidivism. Yeah. You know, otherwise they're just coming back to commit crimes and then they're going back there. So let's get into the newspapers. I have the Ghanaian Times newspaper. I want to start there. On the front page, hospitals grind to a halt as nurses, midwives strike escalates. District directors of education to get more powers to improve service delivery at grassroots. That's according to the president. And GHS, CKT, UTAS, GPC signed MOU to promote professional development. I'll get into that story in a bit. And Ghc PTA, concern over growing criminal activities around school. So let's get into the newspaper proper. I'll start with this story here. So Ghc PTA is expressing concern over growing criminal activities around school. And they were addressing the press in Accra yesterday on this issue. He warned that illegal structures erected around the school are now occupied by individuals involved in drug use, prostitution, and other vices, adding that some have even issued threats to the school community after recent demolition attempt. And Ghc is the Ghana-Lebanon Islamic Secondary School. They are issuing this warning that criminal activities around schools is picking up. Let me add one more story and I'll come to you. Doc, I see the look on your face. So, Ghana Armed Forces cautions public against recruitment scams. A very important story. So Ghana Armed Forces has cautioned the general public against falling victim to fraudulent recruitment and enlistment schemes currently circulating across various online platforms and unofficial sources. And this is following a recent surge in fake recruitment, advertisements and social media, which have misled many unsuspecting individuals into some of them paying huge sums of money. I mean, to get recruited or enlisted, especially into the security forces, the police and the rest. But these stories for your quick reflections. How do you even characterize the fact that criminal activities are increasing around school environments, Doc?
I think that's been on an uptick for a while. Is almost every week or so you wake up and there's a shooting somewhere, someone is found with a gun.
Yeah. And
I don't know if it's that it was happening in the past and it wasn't reported, like when we were coming up, or it's now more rampant. That's what I'm trying to wrap my head around. But again, it comes back down to us politicians and how we handle things. About last year or last year, when these issues came, there was a deliberate attempt by some of my colleague politicians to try and paint this in political colors and try to blame the previous government's plan and policy to try and make secondary education free, when really it's more of a societal and cultural problem. So as this thing persists, I'm hoping that now we can all sit around the table and be serious about these matters, and we can all decide to be more responsible with the way we go about things. Because if we continue to go down this path, we'll never have any progress. I could have also sat here and said it's because of the way they are handling things now, but I mean, I don't even think my conscience would allow that. So it's just a call to everyone to let's begin to call a spade a spade. I don't know what is motivating this new surge of violence and just unruliness in our schools. I don't want to be one of those people that tries to link it to social media or like the more exposure that the younger ones have now. But I think as a society, it's something we need to sit down and then try and get back to having our core values as Ghanaians. We have there's a way Ghanaian society is or has been. We have to try and be deliberate about getting back to those things. That's, yeah.
Go ahead.
I think that's all I would have to say on that matter. The first thing you said is something that I also find interesting because it's been in the news for a while now, and it's something that I find very sensitive, the strike of the nurses. One thing I want to sit here and condemn is the approach some of people in government are taking on this matter, trying to taint the executives of the Nurses Council in a certain way, the relentless attacks that they've been receiving over the time, when they are just demanding for, to me, what's his basic rights. I listened to the president of the GRN, the Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, and I could feel their pain. It looks like every time there's like a call by a professional group or an association to get better conditions of service, instead of the government and the people empowered to rationalize, sit with them and come to some kind of workable consensus, it becomes, I don't know, like a shouting match, which in this case I don't think should be countenanced. From what she said, all they seem to be asking for is medical cover. Which is very basic. I mean,
you see, when these issues come up, I like to be circumspect in the way we discuss it. I've listened to the Labour Minister, and he said that, let me quote exactly what he said. He said, this is a new administration, and we are more than shocked. The Labour Minister said he's shocked over the nurses' strike, without consultation.
What does he mean by consult?
He means that this was just sprung on him.
No,
he said he's shocked.
Well,
when I read the story this morning,
I'm confused at his response. Whoever is running his PR has to do better for me, because they don't have to consult you. It's an association. It's like GMA coming, sitting together, deciding that this is what we want to do. And what are you?
But there are institutions, there are agencies,
sweetie,
there are organizations where you table. Just let me make this point: where you table these concerns, your grievances, and then there's, you know, it's open for conversation and dialogue. I think that's what's missing.
You don't think that has not been done over the years? These concerns of the nurses and midwives are concerns that GMA also shares. So it's not something new. It's something that has been on the table for a very long time. Discussions are had. It's not taken seriously. There's always a back and forth. These are not new claims. I'm sure even as far back as the first time that the NDC was in government under His Excellency John Mahama, these issues were there. So he cannot behave brand new. So
let me give you more of what the Labour Minister said. He said, for a moment, you hear nurses are going on a strike. Well, we are more than shocked. We are disturbed. We are worried that they could go into a decision of strike without much talk with us. And let me skip to this part. He said that I had a chat with the president, the same guy that you had, waxing lyrical about their issue, said that he had a chat with the president of the Nurses and Midwives Association. I was complaining that they did not have the chance, the opportunity, they did not create the opportunity for me to have an interaction with them before the strike. So the question I'm asking is, if you had all these issues, there is a Labour minister, there's a Labour commission, there's so many avenues to address your issues. So you just say that you're going on a strike.
They direct reportedly to the Ministry of Health. So you know, when I started my submission, I said that the way that the government is handling this and some of the commentary that they are bringing out is just unhealthy and it's not going to help the matter in any way. The nurses, doctors, we all are under Ministry of Health if you are in the public sector. So there have been engagements with Ministry of Health over the years.
Are you saying the minister is lying?
No, he's not the Minister of Health, is he?
He's the he's the Labour minister. So you're talking about the health
they've had decisions with their sector.
But it's also falls under his purview.
So he has to escalate it. The employer of the majority of the nurses and majority of doctors in Ghana, the employer is Ministry of Health. When you have labor concerns, you go to your employer first. Is it not so? So if you are the Labour minister and you find that this also falls in your remit and you want to do something about it, you try to bring them on board and have a discussion. But if you start with this and you invite them to the table, they'll also come apprehensive. Don't you think so?
Okay.
Yeah, so if you are actually trying to solve the problem, there's a better approach to go about it. And as I said, this is not the first time these issues are coming up. It is something that they have even dealt with in their first time in office before. It's something that GMA has also been asking for a very long time, but they've been able to come up with some internal mechanisms that even to me personally, I don't think they are satisfactory. Okay. So if that's all they are asking for, that they should be able to get free medical care where they work. How is that a problem? As it is now, let me explain to you what happens. There are internal systems or relationships people build in the hospital. So if you are sick and say it's an ENT problem, you find your fellow nurse at the ENT department and you hope, like you appeal to the person's conscience. They take you to see a doctor off the books. That's how it's done. You use your relationships. And how should that be the status quo in a country like this? Number one, you are not paying them enough to be able to afford the healthcare. So the least you can do is to reduce their burden by providing the free healthcare. The least you can do is when they've come up with this, try and sit down with them instead of attacking them, sending all the rank and file of your party after them. I've even heard people go as far as to tag the president MPP. Even if she's MPP, what is wrong?
Okay, let's hold for a second. I know that part of their concerns is the government's request to postpone the implementation of their negotiated conditions to 2026. Mm-hmm. It's the 5th or 6th month of the year. Would it be terribly bad to wait for 2026 for these
They should wait another 6 months for their conditions of service.
If you've waited this long.
No. The conditions of service that have been implemented, I think somewhere last year, they should wait another year for the government to accede to demands that have already been agreed with the previous government. Let me just quickly,
I have to go to Remy now.
Just give me 30 seconds. Let me quickly land on that. When they wanted to do the D-levy, this government has proven that they have the ability and the will to do things they want to do. When they wanted to give more than almost 300 million to Gold Board, they found a way to quickly do it and pass the Gold Board bill almost in the evening. When they wanted to pass D-Levy, they did it. So why is it that the nurses should wait 1 year before? I mean, make it make sense.
Actually, that's a good argument. That the argument you're making is a good one. Remy, so on this nurse, but you have to start from,
the recruitment matter with the Ghana forces. This is a perennial issue, not just, it's virtually with all our security agencies, even with our government institutions. And I'm seeing this from a two-pronged approach. One is, why do people try to skip the lay-down procedures and maybe pay monies to third parties and some of these scammers? It's because they don't have faith and confidence in the recruitment systems that are available to the public. And we've had this call before too, that in treating our security agents especially, given the sensitive nature of the operations, to make their recruitment procedures very transparent. If everyone knows that, okay, maybe 1,000 people applied, and out of 1,000, maybe it was 300 places that are available, and you assure the public there's a portal they have to go and apply with the right procedures, then people have the faith that I don't have to pass behind the scenes. Because look, we all hear of payments that people make unofficially, and the people talk about it, get it. Again, let's also look at then can we look at a situation that can also deter people from making this payment? Because clearly what you're also doing is illegal, you understand? You're making payments knowing very well that somebody says, bring 10,000 cedis, I'll get you into the security police service. I mean, you're paying bribes. Yeah. So we need to look at that angle as well and find a means to sensitize the public and make it known that, look, it's a crime. If you're also engaged in this, you're also culpable. I believe these measures will also help bring down these issues. Doc, I realize you haven't got a bite on that yet. I'll come back to you. Yeah. And then with the, was it criminal structures around schools? Yes. I mean, all these schools are cited in municipal or district assemblies. And each of these assemblies has a department responsible for unauthorized structures. Again, it's like all these issues we describe are issues that have been ongoing for years, like my sister said. So we need to ensure that these departments are up to the task and running. They are the best people. They know every nook and cranny of every municipality or district that they are in. They know which properties are being built illegally, they know which is illegal. Sometimes, even we had a situation in my community some time back where we had to leave the assembly and then report certain structures because, yes, it was happening to criminals who were taking advantage of them, and using them as hideouts. So the local community the security should liaise with this assembly. If they are overwhelmed, they can also call in for their DISEC to come in and get them to support them, give them the needed support to kick out these people. Yeah, because our children are quite important to us. And if they are roped into drugs and crime at such a young age, then we are just nurturing future armed robbers and criminals who are just going to torment us. Yeah. And on the nursing strike, yes, I understand the agreement was made sometime last year, but it wasn't signed. So to your question of, I mean, yes, if I was a nurse, I wouldn't want to wait another. But these are questions on the minds of some companies. I have to ask. It's laudable, sure. But I also understand from the part of the government that they are just about, 6 months in. With all this debt restructuring, I can understand why they may be dragging their feet and trying to maybe buy some room, get themselves some space to take care of all these. But we never want that the lives of patients, innocent patients, should be involved in such instances. But here's a call. Let me put you on a spot so that we can, let me angle the conversation. Okay. She made a point that it's a matter of priority. So when the government wanted to, pass gold board, there's some examples that you made, D-Levy and the rest. So it appears that the government is not prioritizing the needs, requests, or demands of these registered midwives and nurses. What do you say to that? You see, just on my way here, just yesterday, the 3 educational unions have also served a 5-day notice to go on strike. The TUTAG, UTAG, and then CTAG over their research and allowances. So, I mean, like I was saying, it's just a few. I'm sure a few more are also observing and then getting their allowance to also put it in. Yes, the fact is, our governments, I agree with her on the matter of priority. Our governments, yes, sometimes don't pay notice to the workforce, which is the lifeblood of the country. And I'll call on them, if they want some breathing space, we need to look at and then make sure that we check the wastage that goes out through corruption. the Minister of Roads was saying yesterday that he's reporting an Indian company that was responsible for one road, Tamale-Savelugu Road, because they took a mobilization fee of $30 million and the work has not been done. And they've actually even filed to terminate the project without showing any work done. Somebody somewhere signed off and made sure they got the money, but made sure that the work was not done. You see, if I were and trust me, these are what our bodies look at. Yes, they talk about it, they get upset because they say, like, look, you are stealing these monies, right? Millions of dollars that's going to waste, and our due is not coming to us. So this is just a friendly advice to our politicians that, you see, take care of the people and then make it a point that, you see, when you come in and then you make it so easy for your cronies and others to get away with corruption, and the millions of dollars are lost to the states. These are monies if they were recouped. These are money if the wastages were sealed. These are monies that could have gone to make all these payments in advance. And we will not have any situation of strikes coming in and then the government seemingly being held to ransom. And very soon, after 5 days, if the government doesn't, they might also go on strike, and then our educational system at the tertiary level will also grind to a standstill. So, I mean, we need to look at both sides of the situation when trying to resolve some of these issues.
Strikes and industrial action. I thought it was the dawn of a new day, but looks like that cycle has not been broken yet. Doc, so the recruitment scam issue.
Yeah, and then you spoke about the gentleman that was falsely accused. So I'll touch on this. So I think with the recruitment scam, he's already said a lot about that. It's just about having systems that work. And I'm quite happy that we are discussing it this morning. So at least anybody that's watching us knows not to pay money. But the problem is that it works for some people. So if you know somebody that got in through that route, you are tempted to believe that these scams will be able to get you results.
But that's criminal in itself,
exactly,
you see, because you're paying a bribe, like he said.
Yes, but you know Ghanaians, we always like to cut.
It's been going on.
Yeah, but let's not normalize it. Let's not say that, well, that's what we do as Ghanaians.
I agree with you. I agree. But ways and means seems to be part of the way we do things. So it would require, as I say, ways and means.
Yeah.
It seems to be very much ingrained in our lives as Ghanaians. So that's why people always believe it. But I think it's about time that we all shine our eyes, because it's just like these mobile money scams that have come out. People have decided that they want to take that as their job, to be able to scam other people. So, and I think it also requires a crackdown. If the police starts cracking down on these people, because they don't see it, I don't know if it's that they don't see it as serious crimes or something, but it seems that I don't see so many of them being punished, like these scammers and things. And it's the same. It's similar to someone coming to you with a gun and stealing from you, just that I guess the trauma might be in a different way. And then I'll quickly touch on
just to add one point before you move on. The thing is, how do you even know that someone is paid a bribe? Because everything is done under the table, you know? So there's no evidence to prosecute anyone in the first place. And so everybody just goes. And I think it's time we come together as one and say that we are frowning or we are completely banning these systems. Otherwise, we're going to say, it's done. Connections work, so it's working for somebody. We have to come together and say, no,
the protocol allocations also needs to stop.
It's another one.
Yes, because people know this is going on. We saw some MPs openly putting up pictures of security personnel that they facilitate their recruitment. So somebody sits down and says, okay, I don't have any politician or uncle who can help me in this matter. I can't get any protocol. You see, sometimes I understand the people. Yeah, somebody needs a job, wants to get in so badly. Look, trust me, everybody wants a government job. Who doesn't want? Yes. So yes, let's make the system fair. Let's stop the protocol recruitment. I don't have any politician who can help me. You understand? And as a politician, I get people in my community who come to me.
Yeah, it's the expectation. I was going to join that.
Yes, they come
because
to me.
If you're an MP, the people in your constituency have an expectation of you that you help them out with these things. If you don't, it's grounds for removal.
Elsewhere. So even me, that I'm not in power, as a candidate, they come to me.
So that's what perpetuates the thing. It's a two-way street. The politicians are not just sitting there trying to do this. In fact, if you are not able to have enough muscle to get enough slots for your people, they can use it to campaign against you and remove you. So I think it's something that, as you said, we have to, as a society, just change the way we think about these things. Because if you try to be the, let me prim and proper one, I won't go and get these protocol slots, it will be used against you.
But it's also because of the entrepreneur backbone of the country. We all want a job somewhere,
yes,
you know. You ask me if I want a government job. I want to make my own money. I want to work for myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are so many
that
people who are...
that safety of a government job, because hey, you are hardly, even if you underperform, you never be sacked. You draw your salary till you are 60.
And for me, I think it branches into so many aspects, like the creative arts industry. If it was booming, if we're encouraging it, people would not always just want a job somewhere and using ways and means, like you say, to get a job.
Yeah.
But you wanted to talk on the incarcerated man.
Because last year during the campaign, it was one of the things that I was very pleased that we were going to introduce if we had the opportunity to serve Ghanaians as government, was our plan to get about 2 legal aid people in every constituency. I think it was every district. So I thought that would have been, first, a great way to employ a lot of the lawyers we are training, and that could also lessen the burden of some of these cases. Because you can imagine if this gentleman did not have the funds or a dedicated lawyer to fight this battle over the years.
Right.
A lot of the people that are stuck there, some they're on remand and they just cannot meet the bail. You know, they just, let me just, you know, it would not be that.
See, we are back here again. We are back to who you know and what the person can do for you. I think it just runs through everything in this country.
So we're able to create systems that are able to hold people that will not have the will or any social capital to be able to get themselves out of these. So we create proper systems. Sadly, I don't see it.
This desire that you're expressing, I have to ask, is it idealistic or is it realistic? Can we actually get to a point where we don't depend on people in power to open doors for us?
It starts with idealism. See, somebody has to aspire to do things differently or better, or to create a system that at least is fair for everybody. If nobody aspires to it, then you never get to it. So I do agree, it's very idealistic, because looking at the system now, we are sort of set in our ways, it's ingrained in us. It's going to take a lot of people waking up and saying that we have to try and do things differently. Or we are just going to be talking in circles, and I'm sure in 2 years we'll still be sitting here having these same discussions.
I think just a quick take.
Yes, please.
It starts with the leadership. We need to lead by example. Yes, people are always watching what the leaders are doing. And so if the leaders who are authority and who are have the means to make these changes that we are calling for, if they walk the talk, if they start, like I said, if there's a promise, they make sure that there are no protocol recruitment. I mean, trust me, when somebody knows that there are no shortcuts for other people and that it's just one laid-down procedure, one transparent laid-down procedure, they will make sure that they comply. Yes, it starts with leadership. Let's hold them accountable.
That brings to mind something I read over the weekend when I was home. The Vulture Awards, Vulture Awards, naming and shaming. Have you heard about it?
No.
So Parliament is set to reintroduce that.
Oh, really?
And they want to reintroduce a system, an award system, where they name and shame people who are doing terribly, or corrupt people, politicians who are found in corrupt situations, who are, when you are found in a bad situation, underperforming and all that, they just name and shame you. They're calling the Vulture Awards.
I mean, if it's
what do you think about that? I mean,
if it's done properly, it could also become a tool for persecution and character assassination.
I mean, I said Parliament is set to, but it was the Speaker of Parliament rather who proposed it.
So it could easily become a tool for character assassination. Now we are very aware of how things in the country are. A lot of people you expect to be I don't even want to use the word neutral, but you expect them to be speaking without any political inclination. But you sit back and you realize that a lot of these things are all engineered. So if we are not very, very careful, it could be another tool for whoever has the power and authority to be able to control that, to character assassinates their opponents. So I do think it would be very good if we could find a credible, independent body to run that thing. But sitting here in Ghana in 2025, I'm not very confident we are going to achieve the very noble aim that it has set out to achieve. It will be held by certain people that have the power as a tool for political expedience.
Interesting point. The question on my mind, are we actually going to find one politician who is righteous, that he doesn't get named and shamed? Are we actually going to find politicians who are not given the Vulture Awards?
I mean,
how righteous are we? I mean, righteous is even an extreme.
I do think so. I don't know if you remember, one of the first times we spoke of it was around these things, and I was making the point that, you know, as politicians, we have a bad name or a bad reputation. I think right now it's even all around the world. I can't even limit it to Ghana.
Yeah.
But I do come across some of us who seem to be in it for the right reasons. They are yes, I know you that day you also found it very strange that I thought that, but yes, I do come across people that seem to be in it for the right reasons, people that actually want to work for the good of Ghana. So I do think we will find a few that will not get the Vulture Awards if it's done right.
Okay. Remy, I want to give you your chance, but let me get into some other stories quickly, just to give us time to usher in our next guest. So still on the Ghanaian Times newspaper, Bank of Ghana sees improvement in financial performance despite loss. An important one that we're going to discuss, because I know that consumer inflation fell to 18.4%, the lowest since February 2022. I'll come to that and we'll discuss briefly. Henley and Partners Grace Arthur wins award, and some more stories here. So we've already spoken about the hospitals grinding to a halt. The Ghana Health Service has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons and the CK Tedam University of Technology and Applied Sciences to promote professional development and improve healthcare delivery in the country. Tema Senior High School wins ECOWAS debate competition. I always like to hear this because I was a great debater back in school. That was the first time I won $100. Wow. Yeah, Marco Girls. It was one of these NCC debates, you know. That was not the award. It was just one of the men who said, wow, you did so good. Here's $100, the first time. Yeah, so government takes steps to shape digital landscape. So let's get into the discussion now. So Remy, you wanted to get a bite. It's a good time to introduce Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer. He is CEO of Ghc1. Doc, welcome aboard. You look good.
Grateful. I know we are resetting the country. Let me say good morning to my colleague panelists here, to you, Judy, and then the good people of Bimbilla constituency. Williamsey as well. Are we doing well? I wish everybody well. Yes.
Okay, so I'll circle back to you. I want Remy to get a bite at
yeah, just briefly, I think we should rather focus, or we are missing the point. Let's rather focus in on rewarding MPs who do an excellent job for their constituencies.
So you think it's positive reinforcement rather?
Yes, let's look at what challenges they may have, what loopholes that exist, which make MPs not to perform very well. I think it's better to rather focus on a positive mindset and empowering and rewarding mindset regime rather than naming and shaming.
Okay.
And I mean, just to add, just quickly, you see, yesterday the speaker was talking about a draft bill to back check lifestyle audits of public servants, politicians, and others. But we're still saying that they cannot declare their assets openly. So you see, there's one glaring issue that you've left unchecked, and then you are going to bring a new bill to say you're going to check lifestyle audits.
Yeah.
When there's there's an existing tool that can be very effective and used. So I think I see our leaders finding a way to always circumnavigating and the real issues that they need to work on to ensure that they are accountable. We need them accountable. Yes.
So Dr. Computer, we're just getting into the proposed Vulture Awards that Speaker of Parliament proposed to name and shame politicians or members of parliament. I don't know if it cuts across all politicians. If they're found to be cut across, to fight corruption, really. What do you make of this? So Dr. Kiamako was saying that it might be a tool for people to use to execute their vendetta. He's saying that we should look at positive reinforcement rather than naming and shaming, corrupt people, corrupt politicians. Dr. Computer, what do you say?
Well, you see, I'm all for it. We have to support this initiative. You know, Ghana, we have a culture, a tradition that we must all guide and protect. Why are we doing that? For generation unborn to come, and even the current generation. The lifestyle that we are living, this current generation, the lifestyle they are living, it doesn't mirror our own culture and tradition at all. What we do recently is worship people who has resources. We don't even respect elders these days. If you're an elder, you don't have resources, you don't have money, you are not respected. Your views are not respected. It is the one who doles out money. That's the one they respect. You don't even know how the person got the money. Within the shortest possible time, the person is flamboyantly rich. And everybody is worshiping the person, listening to the person. The person doesn't even make sense in public, but yet we still listen to that rubbish from that person. These are the things we are trying to keep, to protect our tradition and culture. Because, look,
is it a Ghana thing or it's a global thing?
No,
I think rich people everywhere, people like to, bootlick rich people and ignore or neglect whites. It's an African thing, is it not?
No, you see...
I think it's a world thing.
It's a world thing, eh?
Yes, I agree. But you see, when you are talking of Ghana, we have our unique way of living. Are you getting it? That's why we are against this promoting. Is that not? The promoting is a world thing. The one MPP wanted to bring to Ghana.
So
right.
Can we
say LGBTQ?
The issue that we are talking now is we have our unique way of living, that we must respect elders, no matter who you are. And that is why if you come to our chieftaincy institution, you can have all the money and come. They won't give it to you. They look at the bloodline. Are you getting it? The one who is qualified, who is supposed to be. Until recently, when money-backed people have infiltrated into the chieftaincy issue, that's where we have problems. So this lifestyle thing is very important. It will help us a lot because, look, we've seen it a lot in this country, where even this thing they are talking about, you'll be here. If we don't stop it very soon, money-backed people will come and take over the presidency. They will take over parliament and they will infiltrate into the judiciary. If you don't take time, they'll go to the security agencies. Because they have the money. They can control everything they want to do. You don't even know where the money is coming from. And also we have young people in this country who are hardworking. In fact, hardworking. They work their ass out to make money. Others don't do anything. Oh. They are just 419, number one in the whole country, 419. And they are making the country dry. Look, recently.
Are you saying that because we are worshipping or we're paying more attention to rich people, that's why we need the Vulture Awards?
No, that's not the one I'm talking. I'm saying people who have worked hard and made their money. That one, they are respectfully. You must give them all the due respect. Right. Because you even need them to teach you how to make the money. Are you getting it? But we are saying that somebody that you don't even know the work ethic of the person, you don't even know what the person is doing. You can't even trace what work the person is doing. And the person is flamboyantly rich.
I understand what you're saying.
Yes.
I'm trying to trace it to the point that we are discussing.
Yes.
What is this about?
The thing is about trying to name and shame. That's why they say the vulture.
Okay.
Are you getting it? So that if you are the type, we look at you, we will look at the kind of work you do. For instance, you know what I'm doing. You know what I'm doing, another thing. If just within a year or two, you see me exhibiting some kind of affluence, won't you question, where are you getting these resources from? Where are you getting that money from? Because we know how much you take, and we know what you are worth for, and you know what you've been doing over the years. Are you getting it? Yes. Before I built my own house, I worked for almost 15 years as a lecturer teaching. Then somebody will come within a year or two, the person has about 5 houses.
But I know it's possible.
How possible is it?
I know young men that I went to school with who have built houses, who are living lavishly, not because they did any sort of juju or corruption, but because they worked and they know how to use or milk their industry. Some of them are in music, mostly in the creative arts industry. I'm telling you.
So I
know very young people whose lives turn around in 2 years. So what about those people?
I am not against it. That's why I said those people must be praised. We must praise them. For instance, if you see the young man Shatawale in school, look at what they are doing. They are doing fantastic. Fantastic in the music industry. They are making it. Are you getting it? Such a person, how will you go and worry him talking about issues like that? Everybody can easily see. But I'm talking of somebody you can't even trace what the person is doing. The person comes here and tell you that he started with some 1 CD, or he sold some old shoe and started doing this. I mean, what kind of thing is that?
Okay, so you are for the Vulture Awards.
Yes, me, I'm for it. Let's try, because we are protecting our generation unborn. And we must protect our tradition and culture. That is why Ghana, you see, one thing about Ghanaians, I love it, is that, you see, we are the farmer Nyamita, but that doesn't mean we should allow these ill-gotten people who have gotten ill resources to destroy our democracy. In fact, it has something to do with our democracy. This monocracy that we are facing in our parties, and we can't even get good people to now represent political parties across board.
But I think our democracy is strong enough to resist oligarchy. Oh. No?
How? Because
that is when the wealthy people are the ones running things.
We started this thing around 2001, 2002, when President Kufuor came into office. That was the time Ghana started monocracy in democracy. Look, we in 1992.
Okay,
I want to give you something. Why we are having this?
We have to move on. We've stayed on this for long.
People, they started monocracy and created a problem for us in this country.
I want you to talk about the nurses and registered midwives strike, and we also spoke about the increasing scams, recruitment and enlistment scams going on. Ghana Armed Forces issued a directive saying saying that people should be careful out there. So these 2 points, please make a quick reflection on these.
Yeah, well, I'll take this opportunity to appeal to our nurses. They are brothers and sisters. You see, this is a new government. We have goodwill with the people, and that we want to make sure that let's reset. We are on the reset path. A lot of things went wrong. This thing that they are talking of didn't start this regime. It started under NPP. They didn't have their voice to go on strike or other things under NPP. It started in your first regime. The NPP it started in NDC's did all these things and make sure that a lot of them were suffering at home. Now we came in, they supported us to come, and we are trying to reset and organize and make sure that they have what is due them. I see it will take time to do this, and I have all respect, look, maximum respect for our Honorable Minister, Akando. He's doing fantastic. Young man, go there and see what he's doing. Trying to reset.
Dr. Kiama
we are appealing for them.
Is giving you a rebuttal. She says that it started under your regime, not
the first one. Conditions of service discussion started in President Mohammed's first term. The minister at that time told GMA that if we don't accede to their demands, they'll go and bring doctors from Cuba. That is what you told us the first time. So don't. I knew that when I knew you were coming here. Hey. I knew he was going to go on the path of serious propaganda. But today I'm here. I will not allow you.
Let's have a conversation. So I think I remember reading that threat to bring in nurses and doctors from Cuba. But you said that it started under their regime.
How did it start under? We signed the conditions of service for GMA.
Dr. Equia.
We did it for GMA.
When we did something in 2016, we lost the election in 2016. Is that not true? NPP came to power in 2017. Is that not true? Why should you go and repeating something that happened?
We didn't repeat
I am saying that you dealt with it. If you dealt with it, why are they
I just explained.
And I'm saying that NPP are the type, when they are whistling, just wait, they will sing song. We know how they are. That's why they got 38%. You see,
41. I knew you would do this.
This thing, we know them very well. And we are saying that they are the one causing distance. Some of them, remnants of them are still in there, pushing this our innocent brothers and sisters.
Okay, so that's the past. Right now, they're saying that hospitals have come to a standstill. Patients need doctors. I mean, for the public hospitals, that's where really the problem is. The private hospitals, I visited some hospitals over the weekend, and the private ones are working. But we have to deal with this.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that we are appealing. You see that I'm using your platform to appeal to them. We are not arrogant like them. We are not arrogant like the NPP
they can't use
to call off their bluff. We are appealing, and that is why government.
So what's the challenge there?
The issue is
there was an argument that it's about priority. That there are things that you fast-tracked because it was more important to you than the demands that these nurses and midwives are making. What is the challenge with implementing an agreed term of service?
Well, that's why we are saying that the team is still working behind the scene. The minister is on top of issues, talking to them. The leadership, they are, as we speak now, is going to engage them again. The leadership over this matter. Are you getting it? Not that we have just folded our arms and said we are not doing anything about it. Government is so much serious about issues of health. And that is why His Excellency, you see, he has the benefit of the hands. I always tell them, and they don't know. He coming back. He's coming to right the wrongs of all MPP that they did. The 8 years wrong they did. You caused a lot of deaths in this country.
Because what?
Because of your policies.
Oh, please.
A lot of people that the business tycoon died. He was there on live TV telling people to collapse his business, and that caused him to die. And see, all these things are there. And we are saying we don't want Ghanaians to lose their lives. So we are appealing to the nurses. We are appealing. As a government, we respect them. This is a respectful government that respects every Ghanaian. The liberties of Ghanaians are respected. And we are saying that let's do justice to our brethren who are sick in the hospital. Let's go and serve them. Whilst negotiation will continue, we shouldn't shut them off and say, because of this negotiation, we are not going to treat them. Let's go in and treat them first, while negotiation will continue. Because the minister gave his words yesterday. He told them point blank that, look, I am committed to whatever you are asking for. But let's come to the table and then judge. Because it's a matter of, this was not negotiated by the NDC government. It was negotiated by these people.
So that's,
but they ran away from it. I say it was negotiated by these people.
Is that it
they
was
couldn't
not
implement it.
Administration that negotiated the text.
Yes, they did it, then ran away from it and refused to implement it.
How did they run?
Oh, but she asked her, she knows what I'm talking about. And I'm saying that these things that we are talking of, we are not going to sidestep them and then just rub shoulder of them and say that no, we're not going to do anything for you. We are going to make sure that they get whatever they want. But you see, they must also listen to government side.
All right.
This government is less than 6 months. We are just getting to our 6 months. And a lot of goodies has come.
So, Dr. Mwako, you have to, you had said you wanted to say something response. Do that for me in 30 seconds. We have more stories. 30 seconds.
I will try my best. You see, I was listening to my good friend, Dr. Rashid, when he was going on. And as I said, I wasn't surprised. I knew what tangent he would go on. But I see, when I hear people stuck from the PNDC era talking about these property audits and all of that, honestly, it scares me as a child that's very much aware of their very terrible history. Not too long ago in this country, it was a crime to have too many pieces of cloth, and they will put you on a table and lash you. So when I hear stuff like that coming from you, honestly, it scares me. Munjai. The second one on the issue of these nurses, and the matter of these nurses. Again, you see, when I started my submission, I said it's the way they are handling this problem. How is this an MPP matter? So after you guys have been in government for 2 years, 2 years from now, the problems, who are you going to blame it on? The shoe is on your foot. We expect you to come up with solutions. We negotiated these conditions of service with them. It was settled. All you have to do is come and implement. There was some time ago I came here to talk about the GMA car waiver conditions of service matter. Another thing, they want to behave like government is a continuum. When you sign a contract with Ministry of Health, it doesn't say NDC Ministry of Health or MPP Ministry of Health. So that excuse doesn't wash.
All right.
I'm sure in your department at GIFEC, funds have been released to you, but the nurses should wait at home till next year. Really? Is that what you are telling the hardworking nurses of this country?
All right. So here's a story I want us to get into. OSP versus Ken Ofori-Atta. Trial without the accused is a betrayal of justice, says Samson Ladia-Yanene. And that story is on myjournline.com. In fact, that you have it on your screens here. So I just want to bring out a quote. He says that the law does not allow me the option to hit and run, nor does it permit charges to be filed in my absence. Never in the first instance. That is his argument. And he made it clear that the legal system is very clear and it has established procedures for dealing with criminal conduct. So what I want you to drop a pin for me, Dr. Mwako. I want to start with you.
I don't.
First of all,
I don't even understand.
First of all, why is the arrival of Ken Ofori-Atta into this country to face justice? Whether or not he will be, found culpable, it's up to the justice system and how the trial will go. But why is it so difficult to get him here? And are the arguments pouring in about whether or not he should be tried in absentia?
So I was just trying to quickly, because, I'm not a lawyer, so that will not roll off my tongue. So I just wanted to clarify before I started. And I am seeing that trial in absentia is done in this country. In the High Court of Justice held in, I've seen there's precedence of this trial in absentia. In fact, they said in Tamaklo, when she was still going through the processes of trial, she ran away, and then the conviction came when she was out of the jurisdiction. So that's just to tell Samson that if the OSP has a case, they can go to court and try him in absentia. There's nothing in our laws to bar that. Number two, to your question as to why he can't,
why it's become such a challenge,
what's not, and all of that. See, when I'm talking about these matters, I like to be very, very careful and walk a very, very thin line. Whatever anybody has done that might be untoward or might be criminal, I do believe that those are some of the very few benefits of change of governments. Because when you change governments, there are problems with continuity, and this new government will come and tell you that they didn't sign the agreement with you, so wait 1 year. Those are some of the problems. But the positives are that, things can be investigated, albeit there's a huge tint of persecution with these things, but at least a lot of the things that people might have brought distrust into the system can be investigated. So I am not against investigations if there's cause for it. But it's the way the OSP is going about it. It's beginning to look as if it's a personal problem or it's a personal vendetta. First, I don't think he has issued like an arrest warrant or something. Is he calling for the arrest of Kenneth Oriata?
In fact, there's been a red notice on Interpol.
Yeah, but the red notice is for, it's basically for an interrogation or something like that.
Yes, he's now a subject of an Interpol red notice on corruption charges. There's no arrest warrant.
No. There's no arrest warrant.
He shared, I saw something yesterday from that they got from the Supreme Court way back in February.
No. But by the Interpol notice, there's no arrest warrant. They want to...
Oh, no. I think you're right. The OSP does have an arrest warrant.
So why is it not on the Interpol notice?
I think that's a different thing, right?
The
Interpol red notice so that wherever he is, whoever finds him can bring him here.
He would have said it. I have not heard that, so it's something we would have to check. So I was watching Joy News some time ago, and Sami Darko was here, and he was saying that they need him to come and answer questions. And we all know every suspect or something like that has a right to not incriminate themselves. So they have the right that he will come and not say anything. So that's also there. So if you do believe that you have all your ducks in a row, everything is set, you have all your evidence, what is stopping you from proceeding to court and then filing a case against Kenneth Oriata?
All right.
And he has been able to say that he is unwell. You know, that's the whole bone of contention. He has been able to say he's unwell, he's unfit to return to the jurisdiction. So bear with him and give him some time. We were all here when the OSP went to the UK or something to interview on President Mohammed's Airbus saga. They didn't put an Interpol notice on them, did they? He went there to go and talk to them before he issued the love letter to them.
Your argument is that in both cases, whether to be tried in absentia or not, there's a precedent for that.
Yes.
And whether or not the OSP can go and find him wherever he is, there's precedent for that. All right.
And then if he's doing all of this, where is Sedinam Tamaklo on this matter? Because she has been tried and convicted.
Thank you. Point made. Dr. Tanko Computer, I want you to discuss this Interpol red notice for me within the context of Operation Recover or Loot. Exactly what is the strategy here? Because it appears the man we can't find him as we speak. What is the strategy here?
Dear, this country, we must call a spade a spade. You see, this kind of thing we are doing in this country, it's not good for the generation and the generation unborn. Dr. Equia,
yes, dear.
Are you comfortable somebody using $58 million to sink a hole, just big hole for you? Is that what you want to run a country?
I know
it's a rhetoric question to you. You shouldn't answer. You know it. It's $58 million. Do you know what it can do for Ghana? Just even $1 million. These nurses that they are talking about, their benefits, what they are looking for, $1 million alone. Do you know what it can do for them? Somebody with 55, count, 1, 2, 3, up to 58 million of that dollars.
But Doc, he's not, he's not guilty.
No,
he's
hold
a
on.
suspect.
I am saying that these are charges.
Yes.
He should come and answer charges on this. That's one aspect.
Okay.
Just one. Oh. There are several. His cases are so mountainous that his lawyers have advised him not to come. Do you know that one of them, in one of your shows?
Say that on authority?
I'll tell you on authority. Do you know that on your platform here, Saturday, one of the lawyers in Ghana, in fact, he's not a lawyer, but an associate of them.
How is he an associate?
Mentioned it. He said it. That left to him, he will advise him not to come. Saturday, it was here. He said it here on your platform. They know because of the nature of the crimes, alleged crimes perpetrated against the good people of Ghana.
But it's also because the conversation is now about impartiality and political motivation.
That's why I'm coming to. Sometimes when my friends in MPP talk, I look at them in some eagle eyes. The hypocrisy they're in. Was it not there are 95 of them, members of parliament, who stood in parliament and told His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo to sack Kenneth Oriata? Where from this hypocrisy? Whether or not the MPP MPs, 95 of them, led by the one who is now the lawyer for Wuntu.
So now incompetence is...
And I'm saying that this one, it started under their regime because they saw what the man was doing was against the state of Ghana. And it was going to make sure that MPP would lose. And thank God they got 38%. Because they knew what the man was doing was very bad. Apart from that, let's put that one aside. SMLG. You were in this country. Even under their regime, Nana Akufo-Addo set a committee that to investigate that matter. But because Nana Akufo-Addo was noted for whitewashing all manner of things, he would write love letters to people who are alleged to have committed crimes against the state before even investigation will start. We didn't see the end of this FSM matter. And the man is here. That is why they were finding it difficult to make sure that Wontumi is given a hefty bail bond, because they are fond of running away. As soon as they get a small chance, they will run away. Look, I'm talking about the former finance minister. When he was eventually removed, do you know what they did? They appointed him as an international finance minister for the state. Was that not what you people did? You see, for MPP, I don't understand. In fact, Ghanaians next time should just give them 30%. This party, for a very long time, they are noted for this kind of behavior.
You know that at this point in time, though,
yes,
if you keep talking about what the NPP did, and it sounds as if we are still you're trying to win an election. We voted for the NDC.
That is why we are chasing them
in power. And now we are talking about procedural breaches, we are talking about political motivations, we are talking about whether it's a vendetta, manhunt. And I'm asking that, what is the strategy here? Because the NPP are saying that you are using ways and means to bring this man that, in fact, are not procedural in terms of what the Constitution mandates you to do.
What is wrong with the OSP asking that, come home, face justice? What is wrong with that? Is it not the same Nana Akufo-Addo, his former president, His Excellency, who made a statement that all appointees should stay in the country and face the music? Was the NDC who put gun on his head to make that statement? So why some appointees are running away?
So that's the question that Dr. Marco is asking. Yes, that so what prevents the OSP from going to get the way they've done it in the past? What prevents the OSP from going to get?
You see, people are comparing oranges with apples. They are not the same. They are different. They look completely different.
Why?
Under your regime, MPP, you had all the state machinery to prosecute former appointees of His Excellency John Dramani. You were even going after him, he himself. When the Constitution stated the number of years a former president can be investigated, you people sidestep it and were going around looking for him. He was in the country. He never ran away. He stayed throughout, campaigned throughout, nothing happened. We are saying that, look, the man, you see, the Red Alert, the Interpol, Dr. Ekuya, they are looking for him. They will arrest him for him. They will arrest him and bring him for us. We need him in Ghana. We have told them. That's why it's on red alert. You see, there's red alert, yellow, and then you come to... He's on red. He's a high target person. They are looking for...
You know, you haven't actually said anything about how this sits in the context of Operation Recover All.
No, it's it.
And what the strategy is.
The strategy now is this. The strategy now, I'll tell you.
His family accusing the NDC of
it is only under them that you get this kind of thing. They have so many accusations.
Abuse of power.
They are just using words. They just got somebody to write something for them to come and put it there. If that is what you are going to use to fight crime in this country, then God save Ghana. I'm saying that $58 million is not chicken cheap.
All right,
that's one. Let me land here. I'll land here by one, and I'll tell you. The Operation Recover All Loot, our process right now is to target the loot and recover it for the state before we now put you behind. That is why we are going to do this time. We are not going to allow them to come and enjoy the booty after 5 or 10 years in prison. That is their plan. Most of them, their plan is that, oh, in any case, if they put me inside, it's just going to be 5 years or 10 years. I'll come out and I'll still enjoy all them. This time it won't happen. We are going to go after the loot and recover all of them. In fact, if you think that the man should steal in the United States, the last thing that we'll do is to target all the properties that the man is having. Everywhere, and then make sure that they should freeze them. Freeze everything that he has in this country. All right. His business decision should be frozen. So that will force him to come.
You are in between the two of them right now. Yeah.
I'll start with a statement Dr. Ekuya made. Dr. Wanku, right? Mm-hmm. So you were talking about Sedinam's case. In her situation, she actually started a trial.
Yeah, I said that.
Here. Okay. It's just that she asked for...
Yes, she tried. She ran away and then she left.
She didn't run away.
She ran away, so bring her back.
It wasn't started in absentia.
Yeah, I said that.
But then I will still ask the Attorney General to walk the talk, lead by example. And it's important that, yes, in order not to seem like a persecution, somebody has been convicted in the previous government. You are in authority now. So Dr. Tanko, I'll pass this on to you. Please, let's take steps to also extradite the lady here. And let's see that the laws are working, not just for MPP, but for NDC as well. Okay? Now, in Ken's case, yes, I think was it in February or so, his lawyers assured the OSP that because of his medical situation, they will produce him by 2nd June. That was the letter they brought. And the date comes, and then, according to the OSP, they did not notify him that, okay, for whatever reason, that surgery that we thought would happen back then did not take place. Okay? So for that matter, we are requesting a reschedulement. And yes, we are all very much interested in Mr. Ofori-Atta. I mean, nobody wants any witch hunt, but the charges are quite grave. The amount of monies involved are quite huge, and we wouldn't want these monies lost to the state.
All right.
So in the interest of justice, and in his own interest, I mean, I can imagine the damage, the reputational damage this matter, especially the Red Notice, would have caused him as an individual and also to his businesses. So in order to clear his name, I believe it's in his own interest to make sure that, I mean, he makes himself available and come in and then set the record straight. If he has, I'm sure as a former finance minister, he would have all the relevant documentation covering all these contracts and the projects for which he's wanted by the OSP to come and answer the charges. And I wouldn't want this to be politicized about an MPP NDC matter, but it's about the states, it's about our money. So if it's found that, yes, anyone is culpable, yes, and then for me, I'm interested more in the recovery of the monies to the states and then being used for legitimate people than going in hard to go and jailing people. Let's pursue avenues to recover whatever monies can be recovered, because it's just too much. The Cathedral 58, then and the SML contract and all others. We are talking about hundreds of millions of dollars here. And we want to ensure that, and also a precedent to be set. You see, like I said earlier about the loopholes, talking about these Vulture Awards, it's similar to what I'm saying. Let's see the loopholes which give our appointees that freedom to sort of waste money, you see, so that we won't have a case where there's a change of government or after they've gone off, we're now going after them, trying to witch hunt them. There have been this ambulance. There was an ambulance scandal in the NDC time. There's another one for which Ofori-Atta himself is wanted. Yes. What is it in our governance system what are the loopholes that allow these ministers to sidestep the checks and balances and then sign these contracts? Sometimes on the blind side of Parliament, there are sometimes some contracts that are supposed to go for parliamentary approval. It's not done, and contracts are awarded. You understand? So these are things we also need to look at address as we are pursuing these cases. Okay, so let's talk about, but before we move on, I think that this is the optics are important, Dr. Computer, because I know that the OSP standpoint is the need for accountability, right? Like you also said, that it's about recovering our money and all that. But minority standpoint or the NPP standpoint is also due process, constitutional safeguards, and in fact, it's back to due process, the paramountcy of due process. There are so many things that has happened in the processes so far that they can point to and say that you have not been fair to us. You understand what I'm saying? Oh. So it's like a fine intersection between that. Need for accountability, but due process and constitutional safeguards. Otherwise, you're going to set precedent that next administration comes, they will say that because you've done this, like she's citing precedents for you right now. Anyway. They should point out any one breach that has occasion in this process. None. None. Well, the first one is they said no charges were filed before the fugitive label. That is the first one I remember. No. Right? No. Now we know that there's an arrest warrant. No, then there was the home raid. Then there was the home raid. Yeah. There was the, enforcement. I'm looking at it right now. There was the details of his medical condition. There have been several lapses. Refusal to accommodate a video conference appearance request, calling the insistence on in-person questioning overly punitive and lacking legal basis. That was in response to his request for a video conference and all that. They are looking for luxury prosecutorial processes. We won't give them. The state has no that laxity to give you luxury. You sit down at the comfort of your room and say they should investigate you through video conference. What kind of thing is that? Is it only in Ghana that fugitives will give this kind of order to state security? I want to lie in my room, enjoy myself with my air condition, investigate me through video call. What kind of thing is that? When they were looking for power, was that what they did? When you wanted to take care of the state's resources and run the country the way you ran it, was that what we are doing? You see, this thing we must say to them in their faces, that kind of thing, you see, we are pampering them too much. That is what we are saying. We are pampering people, and that is why they are getting away with this. And I'm so happy the president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has given all the authority to the security agents to do their way. He doesn't want to interfere in their matter. And that's why as a party, NDC, we are also not interfering. We just want to look. If you are also found and they are dealing with you, they should deal with you in that matter. And that is why I'm saying that because His Excellency John Dramani Mahama eye is on every facet of our life, appointees,
6 months down the lane, have you seen any scandal in ADC?
All right.
And I'm saying that, look at them. Have you seen any scandal? When they were in office for one,
just for the first time, 1 Ghana cedi has become a subject for controversy. Every time I hear 1 Ghana cedi is to say, oh, cedi. But now 1 Ghana cedi has become a very topical issue. Yes, you know what I'm talking about? The D-levy.
Yes.
You know, so I know that you have your reservations about that. I want to start with Remy because he seems to be a neutral person here this morning. Remy.
Yes, sweetie.
I mean, for me, I've been following the arguments. Remember I said I'm resuming work today. I've been following the arguments, and it's about, is it because the value of the cedi right now is working in our favor? Is that why we think 1 cedi, taxing 1 cedi on every fuel purchase is okay? What do you say about this? Or, you know, in fact, give me a comprehensive assessment of this D-levy thing for me. Yes,
I think it's coming at the after the transport fares were reduced. That's one angle. That's also important. You remember the transport union also threatened that they were going to go on strike. But yesterday, their period said that per their engagement with the government, they've assured them that it's not going to affect the price of the fuel. So they're also adopting a wait-and-see approach for the next 2 weeks. But again, we're all happy about the fall of the cedi, the dollar rather. It's making life more enjoyable for all of us. I wouldn't go into who's going to take whether MPP or NDC. We thank all of them. It's a good thing we enjoy. That's what governance is about, and that's what we want. But then I want to look at why the reason for this energy levy coming at this time. It is to sort of help deal with the losses we're having in our energy sector. Again, I'll say that we are still trying to cover up rather than deal with the real issues. We have ECG that's incurring so much losses in their operations. I think it's about 30% is what they are unable to recover. So much money, so much wastage in the system. And what I'm not happy about this levy is that we, the citizens, are being made to cover up for these inefficiencies.
But who should?
It is the relevant authorities. We have there's a board for ECG. There's a management team for ECG. It begets. I mean, why is it that over the years we have not been able to solve this wastage of money in ECG? It seems to feed into the narrative that somehow, you see, some people are benefiting somewhere. Look at what happened with the container issues. Later, the minister comes around to say that they've been found. And later he's saying that ECG, as far back as 2019, they found some Indians who said that they've been buying cables from ECG. So clearly, some people are profiting at our expense and ensuring that these wastages occur. And you're asking us, me and you, to pay for these deficiencies. That's not fair. Because then you are not solving the problem. So what guarantees do we have? One, for how long will this levy be in place? That's something that I expect the Parliament to tell us. For how long will this be in place? How long are we going to keep paying? And what assurance are we going to have that after we've paid these levies for over a period of time, it will actually plug the loopholes? What assurances do we have that in 3, 4, 5 years to come, another government will not come and also say that let's put in another levy to also help the same energy sector? So I believe that we need to look at the root causes of the issue and address it, and ensure that there's efficiency in the system, and then there's a reduction in the wastage of money in the system, so that innocent citizens are not penalized and actually pay levies to cover up.
Thank you for those points. So, Dr. Kiyamako, I want Dr. Computer to be the last because he's in government.
No.
He gets a final. I want to hear your issues, and then I can let him respond to them, and then we can.
I know the tangent that you go on with some serious propaganda. You see, and
he has the answers, Dr. Computer. So we are coming to you for answers. Let's hear your questions. Let's hear your questions for the government on this D-levy thing.
It's just the way they do things. The NDC. The way they do things. You see, they will never come to you with very comprehensive solutions to the problem. So no, this person is a thief. Kick them out. This tax is bad. They'll propagandize the whole thing without providing any cogent solutions to the problems. That's why they are in this hot mess right now, because they spoke so much about the electronic levy, the e-levy, which was about 1%. You know, when you look at the the effects it was supposed to have on Ghanaians and the amount that was raised, I think something along the lines of 2 billion. They said so many things. The taxation is not the answer. I remember watching the Honorable Watufosin's vetting. So I wonder how he feels when he watches those videos back now, because I'm sure even at that time they knew they were going to bring this Dumsor levy. It's so disingenuous. Anyway, let me go on straightly and look at the very high rates that they've put this tax on. I've heard some of them make some very biased arguments on this matter regarding where the fuel cost was at a point in time and where it is now. When this year started, when the fuel price was quite high, we were buying fuel on the international market at over $80. Now it is somewhere $60. So the cost of the country buying fuel has reduced. So obviously, it doesn't take a mathematician or a soothsayer to expect that the cost that we are buying fuel at the pumps should reduce. So that would happen. But we all know the volatility of the international markets when it comes to international crude. So now it might be 60, but by December, you cannot assure that it will be 60. Sometimes it goes to as high as 120 per barrel. So what's the mathematics that Ghanaians should focus on is X plus 1 cedi. It is not what it is now, 14 plus 1 cedi, never. Because when it goes up, right now when you add the 1 cedi, even at what they are putting us at our highest, when fuel was at the highest, it's only giving them an allowance of 1 cedi left to match what they are saying as our worst record. So just if the price of fuel increases by 2 cedis at the pump, Ghanaians will be paying 1 cedi more than the worst performance of MPP. That did not even last for up to a month. That's price that he will come and talk about right now. People did not endure it for even up to a month. Okay. So this is something that we must all come together and ask them why they are doing this to us. About 8% from the start. You couldn't start with a shorter. So why did you even remove the e-levy? That's the first question I have. If it's to remove the e-levy and in the middle of the night just clandestinely come and impose very huge draconian taxes on the people of Ghana, why did you remove the e-levy? Right. They lambasted us about no consultation, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if you in the media were made aware that this Dumsor levy was about to be put on our heads, because me, I did not, by the time I saw it, Parliament had even passed. I didn't even know they could be so quick as to things like that. And this circles back to what we were talking about earlier with the nurses. That one, they're going to do sharp, sharp, sharp. Gold board money, almost 300 million. All right. Sharp, sharp, sharp. Like I said, Dr. Computer has the answers. I have someone else who has questions that wants to bring it in. So we have the Member of Parliament for Asin Manso, so ranking member on the Energy Committee in Parliament, Mr. George Kwame Abuaje. Sir, thank you for joining the conversation. So far, I have 3 questions that I've noted. They say, how long will this levy be implemented, the cost of fuel, and why remove the e-levy? But we also know that he held a press conference yesterday saying that you're going to sustain a campaign to vehemently protest this D-levy, like we're calling it. Let's understand exactly what your stance is on this matter.
Good morning, my sister. Yesterday, we had a press conference, and after the introduction of the new levy that came on last week, we had a press conference yesterday just to let the government know that there are some challenges they should have gone through before introducing the levy. Okay, there was no any stakeholder consultation. That is one. The president has said it somewhere in Abidjan at the CEO summit in Abidjan that the levy, that the money that will accrue from the levy will be paid the energy sector debt. The energy minister also said they are going to use it to buy fuel to power the generators. And then I think the quantum also is high. So we gave some alternatives yesterday. So this is our stand. That's all.
So hold on for me. I'll come back to you. Let me let Dr. Computer give us some answers. So, Doc, first question. Why did you remove the e-levy when you knew that there were some shortfalls in revenue and you would need to show up revenue, especially in the energy sector?
You see, to answer this question, it's a straightforward thing. NPP, I told you, when they are whistleblowers, they will sing song. When we said we wanted to remove e-levy, didn't they also put it in their manifesto that they were also coming to remove e-levy? Didn't they say they were also coming to remove it? You see, Dr. Akuya, you are here.
I'll respond, don't worry.
How are you going to respond on this?
I'll respond.
Why should they even talk about e-levy now? Both political parties, we said it was a bad levy. And therefore, we're going to remove it from the book. Because of digitalization. If you are talking of digitalization, you want to digitize the economy. You don't go taxing digital platforms at distance.
Okay, so let's
that was
do
one
this a rapid response.
And then a rapid one. And I'm saying that, you see, about this energy sector thing, we must face it. And I just want to give you an analogy. Me, I'm a parent. I have a lot of kids. If I don't have money in the house, then I go to the bank and borrow 1,000 cedis to feed them today. Tomorrow I go back to the same bank, bring another 1,000 to feed them. They are happy in the house that I'm feeding them, but they don't know that I'm creating a lot of problem in the bank. The third day I go to the bank say, we don't have money to give you. You are a bad debtor. You have not been paying your debt.
Okay,
if I don't bring money to the house,
Mr. Waji is asking,
will the children eat again?
Okay, hold on. Mr. Waji is saying that there was lack of consultation. And I want you to respond to that and I'll go back to
consultations? No, there was. In fact, if you look at the memorandum of understanding that went into Parliament, he's an honorable person. They were in Parliament. They saw it. Government didn't just reel through it just like that. Government thought through it and realized that, look, the mounting debt on the energy sector was so huge that we can't continue this way. We can't continue behaving like ostriches.
Okay, so he's a member of Parliament saying no consultation. We've listened to drivers say no consultation. Some energy players are also saying that there haven't been any consultation. So who exactly? No, it's a straightforward question. No, who did you consult?
Government did consultation.
With who?
With the relevant bodies involved in this energy sector.
Does that mean those who were not consulted were not relevant?
Look, no, they are. For instance, haven't you seen that a leverage has been given to them in terms of implementation when they ask for it? That's why GPRT, we see that they've suspended their destiny. Okay. Because we've respected their views and said, no, we will make sure that
Mr. Waji, Dr. Computer is saying they consulted relevant stakeholders. But the question I want to ask is, do you see the policy objective clearly in terms of why this D-levy is necessary? And exactly what, I mean, aside the lack of consultation that you're decrying, exactly what concerns do you have if this D-levy is going to show up the revenue gaps we have in the energy sector?
5 minutes to explain things to you. 5 minutes.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. When you check Ghana, or you compare Ghana with its West African peers, I'm talking about, let's say, Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire tariffs and Ghana's tariffs, our tariffs are higher than Cote d'Ivoire. That is one. Cote d'Ivoire GDP is higher than ours also. Madam, South Africa generates power. They use coal. Ghana generates power. Our generational mix, we use about 68 to 69% of it as for thermal, uses fuel. Which country does that? That is one. Because yesterday we said all these things and we gave an alternative. Okay, which country goes through this stage using thermal generation over 68, 69%? That is not first. We all agree with what is at stake, that we have to do something about that. And doing something on it is not the 1 cedi they're putting on the levy. I'm asking my brother who is there, whether the 1 cedi will solve the problem at the, on the generation aspect. It won't solve anything at the power sector. The 1 cedi won't solve it. That's why we are saying the government needs to consult, okay, so that we all find amicable solutions to the problem at the power sector. It's not about the 1 cedi. You know, 1 cedi is too much. Yes, the impact to Ghanaians also is huge. So we are saying, let's consult. He was saying they consult the relevant bodies, which means Parliament, we are not relevant. Because it came to Parliament, straight ahead, we saw the finance minister announcing it on the floor of Parliament without even consulting even our leadership. No. So does that mean the minority is not relevant? That's not what we are talking. There is a huge challenge at place, which we need to solve that challenge. We talk about lawsuits, okay? That's the transmission and commercial losses and technical losses of both transmission and distribution, which we need to find solution to this. No country loses about 35% of its transmission and distribution losses and survive. It has been going on for long. So this is the time, if we are ready to solve this problem, we need to solve it. Okay? The previous government was using about $500 million to pay capacity charges alone. The former president started renegotiating for the capacity charges to what at the normal parlance they call take or pay, to take and pay contract, which if you don't use, they don't generate power, you don't pay. This is what we have to do and bring more renewables in our generational mix. Without this, the one city they are fighting now for, my brother and my sister, they will come back. I promise you, market. They will come back. If they don't sit down and we find a solution to the teeming problem at the power sector, they will come back again that, no, this is important. No, this is important. Yes, everything is important. But going forward, in a country like Ghana, using thermal generation over 68%, it's not. This is what we are talking about. That we have to sit down and find solution to this problem.
Okay, thank you. Hold for me. I'll try and get you some answers. So, Dr. Computer, he's saying that this is a quick fix instead of structural reforms. What's your response to that?
Great. See, when he was talking, let me thank him for going straight to the issue. If they had added this to their press conference yesterday, I don't think we'll have problems with them. They know the problem. They know these are the things I'm talking about. You see, Dr. Kuya, your people, they know the truth. Just that you do propaganda a lot.
From you.
What he just said is different from what they did yesterday, the press conference. Because the issues, he has made it bare. He has actually hit
So, Mr. Waja, is saying that all these were detailed in your press conference yesterday?
Oh, I am saying that the issue about...
So perhaps you misheard or didn't hear, listen throughout?
The truth of the matter is...
I can send you a copy of the press conference.
Yes, I'd appreciate that.
The propaganda aspect of you talking about e-levy and comparing that one to the energy levy thing that we are trying to do, it's quite different. That's what we are telling you. You cannot go on that tangent. When the ranking spoke, and then my good friend, then information minister who became the Kojo Opon Nkrumah. He was doing propaganda throughout about the e-levy thing and talking about it and trying to describe it as if we were against it.
I want to pin you to a point. He says that the one CD is a quick fix and that you will come back. Instead, look at structural reforms like your mode of, method of generation, energy mix. Instead of thermal, look at renewable, look at coal, look at so many other options.
These are all issues.
No, but does he have a point?
I'm saying that these are issues on the table. For 8 years, they didn't see any of this.
We started.
And I'm saying that for 8 years, they didn't have these ideas. And I'm saying that, look, we are trying to resolve a problem created by the mountainous problem. Look, over 60 billion.
And I'm saying that trying to solve it. Actually solve the problem. That
you must start a point. To know the road ahead, ask those coming. That's what the Chinese say. To know the road ahead. Because we know, we want to see the problem currently facing us is about these issues that we are having, that the debt that is being bedeviled at the energy sector. He knows, he's a ranking at the energy sector. He knows the debt, huge debt. We must service the debt first and look at the way out of it. And so government is bringing this innovative tax. It's an innovative tax. That is why they are very innovative. That is why they are running away. Look, it's not going to increase. So you're saying that, I want to make sure that our audience get the best out of this conversation. Yes. You're saying that this is a temporary situation. Exactly what he's saying, quick fix. So first you want to take care of the debts, and then you think about a more permanent solution. When we are able to solve your debt challenges, resolve that one, then you are quick to go in terms of trying to now fix the long-term solutions that you are looking for. Because right now, these lights off that we are experiencing, they are needless because of what these people have created.
All right.
And that we are now trying to resolve that problem. Okay. In resolving that problem, we brought in an innovative, it's an innovative tax. They don't understand it. That is why they have a problem.
Money on
very innovative.
Somebody, what's the innovation?
They are not
increasing. Many people will disagree with you. You brought it, so that's a point you can make.
It's a very innovative tax.
Mr. Waje, so he's saying that they want to first take care of the debts, and then they can think of a more sustainable or permanent solution.
That 5.7 billion they are expecting in a year cannot take care of the debt. The structural issues, as you said, that first. Because Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo started renegotiation with this power generated. That is the first solution. He talks about what did we do in the 8 years. Look at the renewables everywhere we are trying, especially solar, that we are trying to add to it. Madam, let me tell you, in the water region, I think there is a place, Tiger Woods is destroying houses there, right?
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the place.
Yeah.
Thank you. Even we can resettle those people and use the Tiger Woods to generate power. It's one of the effective way of even getting enough megawatts from there. These are some of the innovations. That's what we are saying. We said it in our press conference.
He's saying, Mr. Boaji, he's saying that these are all options they are still exploring. But their focus right now is clearing the debt. And you say that the monies they're expecting will not clear the debt?
They increased 14.75 on ECG. Can that also do something? What are they doing about the distribution losses, the commercial losses I talk about? It's huge. Yeah. It's huge. Okay, what are they doing about that? That's another way of solving the problem. Okay, the inefficiencies at ECG, what are they doing about that? We started something. We brought in smart meters to solve some of the inefficiency. The smart meters, when somebody tampers with it, wherever you are, if you are the control room, you will know that something is happening here. There is a blockchain they can use. There is a smart grid. These are the things you do so that we get away from this huge debt. Fine, they are putting one city. We'll do anything. We know definitely they will implement it. But I'm telling you, this is what I'm saying. I said, mark this day and put it down, my sister. They will come back again. I know.
Something you said very interesting. You just said that you know whatever you do, they will implement it. Does that sound like you've given up on the campaign?
We haven't, because they
if you know, you just said that they will do it regardless of what you do.
They said they have their numbers. So if they have their numbers, well, in Parliament also anything we vote on it. So once they have their numbers, they will go ahead and do it. But we will let Ghanaians understand what is at stake. That is not the levy that will solve the energy problem. There are structural issues that we need to tackle it. We have to see government tackling it. Assuming the government is tackling all these structural issues, and then he come out and said, look, where we have gotten to, we need this amount, okay? But we are starting at the stages. We will not just put maybe one city. Maybe we'll start from 20 pesos or 30 pesos. We start from there, and then these structural issues, we are tackling it. Do you think we will not understand with them? Since we just came out of the place, we know the problem there. This is what we are talking about.
Okay. Thank you. Hold for me. I'll come back.
And you were saying we did not profess any alternatives. You should check our press conference. There are alternatives. We said it. All these things are there.
Okay. Thank you. Hold for me. I'll come back to you. So, Dr. Computer, first of all, I know you are excited about what he said, that you pass it regardless, but that's not the point. Let's not belabor the point. The point is that we are looking for sustainability. We are looking for structural reforms. We are looking for renewable. In fact, this is the first time we are hearing of a Ministry of Energy and green transition.
Beautiful.
What's happening on that point?
Beautiful. That is why I'm saying that. Because, you see, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, he has the benefit of the hindsight. I always say it. He's been a president before. He did it for 4 years and saw certain things. Now he's back to the presidency. That is why things are getting better for Ghanaians, day in, day out, because the man has the benefit of hindsight. That's why he introduced this green thing to the energy sector. And to make sure, because we have already planned it ahead, knew what we are going to do. But I'm saying that, you see, what my colleagues don't understand is this. You have created huge mountainous debt on the energy sector. And you expect that...
He is saying that you've increased electricity tariffs.
And I'm saying, but that one...
There are so many avenues. Remy, I'll come to you in a second. So you have all these avenues to make money to shore up your revenue, and you are taxing Ghanaians one cedi on 1 liter of
that's
fuel.
wrong. That's wrong. You're saying that that is completely out of order. We are saying that Ghanaians are very comfortable with the 1 cedi.
Are we?
Nobody. Oh, yes, they are very comfortable.
He's a Ghanaian, I'm a Ghanaian.
We are not comfortable.
See, the MPP will not be comfortable because you think they are happy to get 38% in election.
But you
are not happy with it.
You are not buying fuel.
Hold on. Remy, so
you are not buying fuel.
I want to get quick thoughts, and I'll go back to Mr. Boaji and Rappa. So let me start with you, Remy.
I do say political twist to this. Yes, this is a national issue.
Yeah.
That transcends successive governments, and we really need to. Energy, as someone has said, is a security issue, national security issue. You understand? So it's important that we really discuss this devoid of political sentiment. The minority is also flagging the power purchase agreement as one of the causes of this.
Yes.
I'm sure you also...
of
course. That was just by the way. Just to say that they also are pointing at something. You are accusing them of something. But at the end of the day, like the Honorable MP is saying, there are structural issues that need to be addressed. And I think that's why as a nation we should look at holistically. The transmission losses that are going on, yes, if the issues of the power purchase agreements that Kojo Nkrumah was suggesting yesterday, let's look at it from now. Let's not put a blame game on any particular government, because look, other than that, in the next MPP government, we will have the same issue, and then they're also going to blame the NDC that they were the cause of this.
All right.
But I think you should focus on, you are in power now. Ghanaians gave you an overwhelming mandate to lead the country and take over from the MPP. And so whatever the challenges are, we agree there are challenges. My position is, my fair advice to you is, look, accept that this is a reality. Yes, you were handed the situation you have inherited, but this and this and this is what we're going to do. And then take this feedback from all Ghanaians. Okay, not many of us are happy with this levy, but what the government should do is probably to give us clear timelines, give us clear assurances that if we are paying this money, like I said, by this timeline, we're going to solve the issue. If you can guarantee this to Ghana, trust me, no one is going to complain.
All right.
Even Dr. Maku will pay happily.
So then here's the thing. I need to let Mr. Boaji go. So let me wrap up with him and then I'll come back to you. So Mr. Boaji, I mean, this is what is happening. We have heard you say that they're going to pass this regardless. So what mechanisms are in place from your side as minority, because your job is to hold government feet to account, to ensure that there's some sort of auditing process to keep them on their toes in terms of timelines, maybe not even increase the 1 cedi levy? What mechanisms are in place? Should this levy be, de-levy be passed regardless?
Before I come there, let me clarify some issue he said. He said we left huge debt. It's not true. When they were leaving power, they left $2.5 billion at the energy sector and then within the 8 years, we have been paying excess capacity charges of about $500 million US every year. That's what they left, based on the power purchase agreement they signed. Okay, that we don't need in this country. Okay, you are going to sign a contract.
How can
you sign a contract? Let's say you need about 3,000 megawatts.
Mr. Boaji, I want us to put aside the blame game of how we got here and look at the solution going forward.
No, my sister, not blame game. He is saying we left the debt of this, and I want him to know that they left 2.5 billion.
Okay, point made.
When we came to power and we left, as I'm speaking to you, there is a debt of 3.1 billion. When they came to power, they've added $200 million to it. So what debt have we left? Upon all the capacity charges that we are not using, okay, excess capacity we are not using, that we've paid. Look at what we left. Okay, let's put that aside. We, as a minority, will put the government on his tools. That is our work. And we'll let the Ghanaians to know that this and this are the right. That's why yesterday we prefer alternatives. We'll let Ghanaians know that, no, this is the way to go. This is not the way to go. For Ghanaians also to buy into it, so that the government will understand what we are saying, not that because they had overwhelming majority from Ghanaians, they can do whatever they like. No, that is not the way to go. They should listen, whether even we are two in parliament or one person in parliament, they should listen to us. That is Ghanaians who are giving us mandate, as they too, Ghanaians are giving them mandate to work together for the better of Ghana. This is what we are expecting from them, not to bully us with their numbers.
Thank you. So please just... Thank you so much, Mr. George Kwame Aboagye, for spending some time with us. He's Member of Parliament for Asin Manso Akraso and the ranking member on the Energy Committee in Parliament. Dr. Computer, so what mechanisms are in place to track how the 1 cedi will be used? Will there be independent auditing, public disclosure of the funds? How do you ensure that we know where the money is going so that we can better appreciate when we are paying the money?
Oh, very well. I mean, the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, he made it clear, I mean, in the Flagstaff House, when he met the leadership of organized labor and then some professional bodies about the usage of this 1 cedi. It's going to be public notice.
Public disclosure.
Disclosures will be there about how it is used and all that. And we are saying that we have the good people at heart in Ghana. As a government, we are social democrats. We just celebrated our 33 years yesterday. Today. I mean, 10th. I mean, today is 10th. we are 33 years. We birthed the democracy of this country. We knew of it, that this is what we needed to do for the good people of Ghana. And that's why we brought the democracy. These people were against it, MPP, completely against the democracy.
How?
Then they, of course,
when you were lashing our grandmothers in KJT, don't even go there.
This thing we are talking about.
Let's not digress. We have 2 minutes to wrap up, please. We have 2 minutes to go. Yeah.
Sweetie, I wanted you to ask the Honorable Member of Parliament, Ameri. They are talking of this. Ameri, when we brought Ameri to resolve the Dumso matter, 2016 and all that. When they came, do you know what they did?
They moved it to Kumasi.
They moved it to Kumasi. Not even Kumasi. They even increased it. That caused energy ministers increase the thing. Executive instrument trying to increase the price of the negotiation. These people, they should stop talking when they come to the energy sector.
Recall how I told him that we should move past the blame game.
That's why we are saying that.
Something very important, that Ghanaians gave you an overwhelming mandate, but so did we gave them to that mandate. They're in parliament because Ghanaians voted for them. So whatever they're saying, you should listen to them. The fact concerns that are coming out so far about lack of consultation, policies, programs, and projects that are being implemented without proper policy document presented to Parliament for its oversight responsibility. These are issues that are coming up from the minority. And I think that you should take that
Were they not in Parliament when the Honourable Minister of Finance brought the bill to Parliament? Were they not there? They were sitting there. Is that no consultation? Didn't they talk about it?
Is that as far as it goes?
It should happen before.
Look, consultation.
Is that as far as it goes?
Look, there are bills which can be passed within the day. You know that in Parliament under certificate of agency. Is it not lawful?
So this is urgent.
Is it not
but the nurses and midwives who are saying
that is not a bill. That one is a negotiation matter.
Let me give the remaining time to Dr. Mwako.
So they were consulted. Just that they were doing their own propaganda.
All right, thank you. Dr. Mwako, you have the final 1 minute.
It's a matter of consultation, and it's because of the way they handle themselves. I think all the discussions this morning have gone along the tangent to just expose that the NDC, even after spending 8 years in power, they did not focus on coming up with plans to solve
8 years in opposition.
8 years in opposition. They did not take the time to come up with cogent, coherent plans to solve the problems that Ghanaians are facing. It's about settings, packaging, and the rest is gaslighting us, as he's trying to do here. Because as a CEO of a government agency, I'm pretty sure you have access to fuel coupons. So when we are crying about it, allow us to cry. Number two, he talked about consultation. I don't know if you've seen the letter from the Chamber of...
COPEC?
Yes, you've seen the letter. They said they were given 48 hours notice, and they were even told that it was going to be phased, but that's not what happened. So by what stretch of the imagination can you say you consulted? I also do not want to go on the tangent of blaming, but that's how they always start. You know, to be able to whitewash their incompetence, they always try to go back to what was left. But you know the mess you left. Even the director of World Bank, Mr. Laporte, I can't remember the first name, came out to call your take-or-pay arrangements expensive and criminal. No, I'm telling you. So you left us debt, you left us problems. We managed the situation, and then let me just quickly.
People had all the
power. You know, when I say that after everything that happened and everything we learned, we were trying to move forward on the path of renewable.
Get into it quickly. Let's go.
So I'll wrap up with a very important notice here. I'm seeing from the News Guide Africa that GRA urges citizens to take advantage of tax incentives to lessen tax. It's a good thing. I would just urge them. I mean, if I hadn't opened this, I wouldn't have seen that they should find a means to let this news trickle down. They're talking about personal tax relief, marriage responsibility relief, child education relief. The very first.
No, this government is very sociable.
We're going to give a tax holiday this morning.
We are giving them.
Before I go, there's a dedication here. Happy birthday to Mrs. Clarice Dodi Aduyama. May the desires of your heart be fulfilled on such a special occasion as this. May God bless you and keep you. And may you win throughout this new year. From your husband, Mr. Kwame Dodi Aduyama, and the entire family, happy birthday, Mrs. Clarice. And this is another one here. Happy 7th birthday to Samuel Kwesi Ano of Crown and Glory School at Bawe. May your day be as bright and colorful as your smile. May your life be filled with laughter and joy. You are a blessing to our family and a shining light in our lives. From your mom, Mama Connie, your siblings, and your loved ones, they say happy 7th birthday to you, Samuel. Those who joined us for the news review this morning, Dr. Ikuamwako, she's a member of the NPP Communications Directorate. Remy Edmondson is National Secretary of the Progressive People's Party. Dr. Tanko Rashid Computer is CEO of GIFIC, and we also spoke to the ranking member on Energy Committee in Parliament, Mr. Boaji. That wraps up the news review segments this morning. Please stay. We are coming back with more on our big stories. Happy birthday to
NDC.
Oh, happy birthday to NDC. Today is your anniversary. Oh, congratulations. The ruling government is celebrating 33 years today. Happy birthday.
Oh,
okay. Grateful. We'll be right back for the big stories segment. Please stay.